Hi, my name is David Rothstein, and in this video I'm going to talk about the 5 biggest mistakes that people make for their weddings and how to prevent them. Number 1 is having a room that has other rooms attached to it where you have other activities. For example, if you have your main ballroom and then in the room outside you have a bar, or you have a cigar rolling table, or maybe in another room you have a photo booth. Then you run the risk of people having a group of people out by the bar, having a group of people getting their pictures taken, having maybe a patio that's open. So that's another place people can go off to. And you lose the focus of what you want people to be doing, which is dancing, right? So this is, of course, all after dinner is what I'm talking about. So once you establish dancing, you really want to have your guests concentrated on dancing. And ideally, you want to have the bar inside the room if at all possible, the photo shop if you're doing that inside the room, and make sure any other activities, if you can, try to keep them inside the same ballroom so people aren't wandering off and you get kind of a diluted type of party. Okay, so that's one thing. Number 2 is filling up your wedding schedule with all kinds of extra, like a video presentation and a huge giant bridal party introduction, and then tons and tons of toasts and different courses of food and all kinds of extra stuff, because what it does, each of those things can really slow down your wedding. And to me, the most important word for a great wedding is momentum. And what do I mean by that? That means now we have cake cutting, now we have first dance, now we have this toast, and the salad is served. So there's always something going on. But if you fill it with too many activities, especially in typically dinner is an hour and a half, it can be very kind of exhausting for people. If you are planning on doing a number of things, at least make dinner 2 hours as opposed to an hour and a half. But if you can, try to edit that down. And you can edit things. There's other options you can do. Instead of a giant bridal party introduction, you can introduce people by first names. You can introduce just the two of you. You can introduce maybe just, and here's the bridal party, and everybody comes running out. I did another video that kind of helps explain what some options are for that. So don't cram too much stuff during your dinner. That's number 2. Okay, number 3 is finding the right size venue. If you go into a venue that is too big or too small, based on the number of guests, that's also a very bad thing that you're going to be doing. So make sure that when you speak with these venues, give them an accurate count of the guests you're having, and make sure that if you have some grandparents that may need wheelchair accessibility, make sure that's available for them. And ideally, if you can, find a place that doesn't have another wedding, at least not next door, that may interfere with your wedding. So make sure it's got to be the right fit, and it's got to be the right feel for you in terms of the venue. Does this venue feel right for you? Is this a place that you can envision having your wedding there? So it can be, there's no wrong answer, but there are so many choices now with lofts and museums and hotels and all kinds of places. But just make sure it's right for you and it has the feel that's right for you. Doesn't matter how popular it is, it's got to be right for what's right for your wedding, and that's all that counts. The next one is about authenticity. And if you spend time watching all kinds of wedding TV shows and websites and Instagram, social media that shows you, oh, this is the hot color, or this is the hot style, or this is the hot song, or whatever, and you follow those guidelines, then you're going to have possibly a wedding that's going to be a bit inauthentic. And it's going to be, your friends are not going to be excited that, wow, she got the same color scheme as Kim Kardashian. It's got to be something that is true to you, and everything in your wedding has to be you telling your love story. This is who we are. This is what we're all about. So make sure, I'm not saying you can't be influenced by things that you see, but make sure you have your own voice and your own kind of definition and style. And if you get ideas that fit into that, great, use them, absolutely. But you always want to stick to what is authentic for you. And that's what your true family and friends want for you. They don't want to see you have a different personality and have, if you're a shy person, don't feel like you this pressure that you have to be the giant star of the show and you're this diva, and everything has got this, lilac color that you hate, but it's the big hot color for whatever year it is. Don't do that stuff. Your friends love you for who you are. Maybe you're a bad dancer. Maybe you show up late. Maybe you can't parallel park, or you don't brush your teeth as much as you should. But they love you for who you are, not because you're, holding the right purse or you're, eating the right foods, being seen at the hottest restaurants. They want you to be your very happiest and your most authentic at your wedding. So keep that in mind as well. And entertainment. Entertainment is a huge part of what guests are going to remember about your wedding. So spending time and money on all these things that very likely your guests are not going to remember. Like, do you remember any of the appetizers from any wedding you've ever been to? Or anything that was in the bathroom, the special mints or the bows in the back of the chairs or tchotchkes on the tables? People are going to forget that kind of stuff. But people will remember how much fun they had at your wedding. So if you get this glamorous ballroom, downtown Chicago, and all this delicious food and everything, and then you kind of save money and maybe you get, kind of an average band or, maybe some DJ you saw at some place once or whatever, and it's okay, and about half the people are dancing, people are going to be like, oh yeah, we had a great time at your wedding. Boy, those valet parkers were incredible. And I really liked your sister's toast. That's the sign of a bad wedding. You want people on Sunday morning and for months later and years later saying, we had so much fun at your wedding. That band you had, David Rothstein music, hopefully, was absolutely incredible. They played all these songs, and we had such a blast. We danced all night. It was an absolutely amazing wedding. That's what you want people to be saying. You want people to be raving about your wedding, about how much fun they had. And you're not going to email your friends, but, hey, sorry our wedding was so lame, but we saved so much money with this other band. Isn't that great? Never. No one will ever want to hear that. And you'll long soon forget about the money you, quote unquote, saved when you're kind of a little bit bummed out because you didn't get the music that you really wanted. So a great band and any other great vendor you have is an investment into your wedding. Things that are average or really don't give you the results you want, that is a cost, right? There's certain costs involved with the wedding. So try to think of your vendors and especially your music as being an investment into your wedding, something that's really going to pay off for you. So keep those things in mind as well. And the last thing is when a bride and groom spend more time talking to their family and friends instead of dancing. And if you do that, your guests will follow your lead, and they're going to start kind of drifting off the dance floor or whatever. If you want to get guests to dance, make sure you both dance all night as well. You should be the life of the party. You should be on the dance floor as much as possible. So I hope these tips were helpful for you guys. So please review these, share this video as much as you like, and check out our website, drsmusic.com. That's drsmusic.com, and you can contact us, 773-719-7610. Thanks a lot. Take care and good luck with all your wedding stuff.